Hey everyone, how are you? Sorry I'm running a little bit late here. Apologize. Telemom, you should have audio now. Hey Tex, how are you? Larry, how you doing? Jerry, thanks for being here. Tex. Joe, Paula, Lorenzo, that's all the names I can see. How's everybody doing today? All good, I hope. Let me make sure that we have sound and, oh, okay. Sound must be working. Thanks, Larry. You guys see a chart? We're all good here. Alrighty, let's rock and roll. So let's take a quick peek at the market here a little bit. I'm going to have to give the what I'm going to call the little bit of a longer term here, and that's what I'm looking at for my long term. I'm going to have to give this to the bulls. I'm going to have to really, question whether the bulls have control today or not. But a slight little pullback, it's not going to kill us. In fact, I think it would be very, very good for the market. So let's watch this in here. Let's not get too carried away with, yay, we're all bullish and everything, because it's these little pullbacks here that can damage an account really, really quick. No, Joe, they're just a couple of right. This candle here, Friday, is a doji. This candle is not finished yet, so we really don't know what it is. We need to let the mold continue to work out. But okay, so what do we have here? Let's see let me share what I'm in. I'm in big. I bought or BBIG. I bought it back today. It looked a little better than this, so it's testing it's testing me. So we'll see how it closes, but I'm not going to give this 1 penny. If it about 479, 475, if it closes below that, I'm going to get out of it. In fact, if it doesn't turn out to be a white candle, I very well may be out of this. Has earnings coming up. I was looking at the gap this morning, and like I say, it was bullish here. I held BT over the weekend. I'm still comfortable with that. I'm actually looking for about 16 and a quarter. Of course, it needs to break out of this blue line first. That's the very first thing. What else do we have? Chewy. So this morning, Chewy was popping up. I know a lot of folks in Right Way Options got into Chewy. I was being a little bit stubborn, looking for that pullback, and it did pull back and it did fill. A couple of reasons why I was being kind of stubborn is mainly this candle right here. Until we get past this candle, then we really don't have a great. Chewy's not ready to take off. I love the chart. I think it's a great looking chart. I'm very happy I'm in it now, but it's not till above 77.25 is when it really starts jamming. So that's where I like it. Now we bought it on the pullback. I like it because of that. But that was the reason right there. If we take this to a 15-minute chart, something I follow, and I've said this a lot lately, I do follow moving averages probably more than I let on. So I'm letting on that I follow moving averages. And it's just a probability that as a stock moves from below to that 50-period moving average, just in any time frame. Let me walk that back just a tiny bit. In time frames that the majority of traders or investors look at, 15-minute happens to be one of those. So I could see the 200 up here. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to chase this because there is a high probability it pulls back. It doesn't make for a bearish chart, just makes for a pullback. So that turned out okay, and that's the reason I did that. I'm in it now, so now let's rock and roll, right? Okay, that's the trades I'm in. Rickster, yeah, Piton. That was a marvelous trade. There was a bunch of us in here. We closed out Friday. Huge, huge, yes. I'm kind of waiting for Piton to move back up a little bit or stabilize, and then maybe short it again. I don't have much of an outlook, a positive outlook for Piton. I really don't. A glorified place to put crap is all it is. And in the world of inflation, you have to think about what's going to go by the wayside. Certainly not going to be my Netflix, that's for sure. Likely going to be that stand for household crap. So anyway, that's my outlook on Piton there. Okay, so I want to give a little credit to Tex up here. Thanks, Tex, by the way. Last week, Tex asked about a scan for flags, and that's kind of what I would like to talk about today. Yeah, so can I, Ed. And by the way, I don't have a Piton. Don't anyone ever think Peloton thing, exercise thing. Yeah. Unless it has a beer rack on, well, I don't drink that much beer. Unless it has a Diet Pepsi rack, there you go, and a place to put my bag of potato chips, then I'm probably not going to get on it. So anyway, last week, Tex asked about a scan in LTA for flags, and I have this up here. Then somebody asked me later on, can you do this in different time frames? And yes, you can. So we're just going to leave this on the daily, but we'll create some time frames, at least one today. And I'll show you how this might work and how it might look and how you can tweak it maybe if you want it tweaked for yourself. We'll look at that. I do want to just peek on the SPY here real quick. I want to keep an eye on that. And the SPY might be a possible quick short trade down to the T line. I'm not ready to give up on the market yet, but a little pullback I think would be, like this right here, I think would be very useful to us. So it's possible. We'll see. All righty. Before we take a look at this, let me share this with everybody. Be patient with me, please. I want to remind everybody here and anybody that listens to the recording, because this is being recorded, just a reminder, we do this every single Monday at 11:45 Eastern. It's free of charge. You just have to simply click right here to log in. If you scroll down a little bit, you can click on this, right? This is I might change this up from time to time. This is just some charts I put out Sunday. That's rounded bottom breakout example. And this is really cool. And I have to say thank you to all the members of Hit Run Candlesticks for posting their completed trades. And even losses. Right now today, there is no losses that have been posted, but they do post them. So don't think it's all winners here. It's not. And then here's a running watch list that I update every other day, maybe, of stocks that I'm looking at. So just want to let everybody know. And I will post the link here in the room in a second for this page. And I'll make sure I post it on the YouTube page as well. So thank you very much for your patience there. Here is the link. Grab this, save this, because this is not anywhere on the website. I probably should do that, but it's not anywhere on the website. There you go, right there. Okay, now let's talk about this scan here. So this is looking for a flag, and a flag is simply when a chart is up and pulls back. That's it in a nutshell right there. I love these kind of trades. I love rallies. I love little pullbacks. And then I love the buy signal in there. So let's just go look at some of these charts and see how they're looking. Now we have red arrows and we have green arrows. I'm pretty sure I have this set on a white candle. Okay, so theoretically, if everything's working right, we should see flags with a white or green candle, and the red just means it's pulling back because I do have this set to alert on a 15-minute high or a 15-minute low, but it has to be a bull flag and a white candle. White in my case, green for other folks. Oh, crap. Boy, I didn't want that to happen. Doggone it. Now we need to let this thing perk for a minute. Man, I didn't want that to happen. Okay. I think I saw GBT there. Yeah. So here's GBT. Yeah, we have to wait till this kind of perks a little bit now. Sorry about that. There we go. So here's our bull flag. And you can see how we run up here and then we pull back. And again, I've asked it for a white candle. So, and to me, that's a bullish candle. So that's what we're seeing here. And then you can make that decision, in the chart, the price action, where price is in relationship to maybe moving averages or support and resistance, whether this is a buy or not. Let's take a peek at PACB. There we go. So see how we've rallied up here? And there we go. See how we've rallied up? Just you can just see it go up. And then here we are pulling back with a white candle. So this is a lot like, there's a J-hook scan out there. J-hook scan might show these actually where they're a little closer to the top, maybe something like that. But I think the flag scan is extremely good if you like those charts where we've rallied a little bit and pulled back a little bit. I think this is very nice. Tesla, there's Tesla. See how it's rallied up and it's pulled back and we have that white candle. So now you can come in here and use a little support and resistance. That kind of makes sense. I see a little support here. I like it because it's above the T-line. I think a great way to trade this is if I was to buy Tesla right now, it would have to, and I do mean have to, close over the T-line today. The reason I'm buying it is because it's over the T-line. So it's pulled back over the T-line. I don't like these candles, by the way. I don't particularly think this is a buy for me right now. It might be for somebody, but not for me. Oh, Larry, hi. Is there a name for that window? It's just flag, yeah. Yeah. Bull flag. Bull flag is what it is. Bull flag. And then I'll go over some things here I've got in there. And by the way, what I have in here was requested Friday by somebody. So I just kind of changed things around for them. I think I had it a little different. And I'll go over those. And then we're going to create one intraday to see what happens as well. Okay. Let's take a look at, what was it, TDOC. TDOC. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. This happens to be a rounded bottom breakout right here. Look at that great big old camera here, candle. And then we went to the high up here and we've pulled back. We're sitting here with a little doji right now. So you might like that as a buy. You might look at it up here, 148.60. The scan is not, it has to be set up for you. For instance, I'm not a doji buyer. I wouldn't buy this. You couldn't pay me enough money to buy this right now. But I know a lot of people that might, and it's doing exactly what we're asking it to do. Dojis just aren't my buy signal. But if I like this chart, now here's where I would take this chart and I would put it on what I call a watch list here, my hot list. So if I'm really, make sure this is, stay on top. So if I'm really digging this chart, which I do, rounded bottom breakout, that big old candle, I love this here. I love this. So this is just not my buy area. So this is where I may come over here and put it on my hot list, like this right here, TDOC. And this is a smaller list right here. You can see there's 37. And honestly, I did not clean this up this weekend. I should have, but I didn't clean it up. So now this, I keep my eyes on this list an awful lot. So if I start seeing TDOC start moving up, then that may trigger for that buy. Hey, congratulations, Tex, Telray. Sweet trade. Sweet trade. Yeah, way to go. Nice. All right, so that's the flag there. Does anyone have any questions about flags? Any questions here at all? And I must say the market is pulling back a little bit. I mean, we might want to be careful with a couple things here. In fact, we might even look at some charts, like KMI here. This might be a short setting up right now. We've come from this top down, and we've landed here at the 200 period moving average and the 50 period moving average. If this starts to fail, I could see this running down another 6-7%, maybe even all the way down to these lows down here. Hey, there's our Chewy coming up on my hot list. Currently long that. So Chewy's popping up a little bit on the 15-minute chart or 15-minute time frame. Let's see, pins. What's pins doing? Pins might possibly be a shorts. Pins is going to be one of those where let's kind of make a bracket type thing in there. A breakout here long, a breakdown short on pins. Alrighty, any questions? Anything? The more questions we ask, the longer I'm going to stay. No questions, then I'm going to go finish my lunch, to tell you the truth. All right, make sure when you put one singular stock out there, you ask a question. Otherwise, I assume you just share. You're just sharing to everybody, okay? Rickster, congratulations. Nice trade on fuel cell. Super. What a great rounded bottom breakout this has been for the breakout buyers, rounded bottom breakout buyers. This is the class I'll be teaching on Thursday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th. Way to go. Super trade. So Larry's looking at BLDP for a long. I'm going to say sure. Looking pretty good here, actually. I'm going to move this kind of out of the way. Move it down. There we go. Yeah, you've got a nice looking J-hook setting up here. My only big, and I'm not sure it's a concern at all. It's just that I favor the 200 period moving average. I favor it a lot. So I have to be a little cautious as we approach this area here, around that 200. But I love the chart. Absolutely love the chart. Wins earnings. Either earnings was this morning or this afternoon. That I have, or later today. That I have no earthly idea of. But a great little pop here this morning. I love the chart, Larry. It's just all about making a plan now. What is your plan? Is your plan, and don't say that you're in it now. Don't do that. Should have led with that if you did. Okay, good. So your plan, is your plan to buy it here, or is your plan to buy it on the breakout? Different strokes for different folks. Everyone looks at something a little bit different, and I think a buy in this area or buy in this area is extremely acceptable. As far as a target goes, this is one heck of a bottom, if you ask me. An extremely nice, well-constructed bottom. So on a breakout here, man, I could see this. Well, geez, I'm going to have to go right in here to 25, and then maybe this, we'll put something right about here. There you go. Nice, beautiful, nice chart. I think I'm going to have to flag that one. Thank you, sir. Extremely nice. 1925. Larry, you're talking in shorthand, buddy. I don't know what 1925 means. You got to help me out here. Don't be afraid, type. It's okay. It's okay. Pets. That is a gorgeous, man, that's really nice. Does that have options? Very few shares are traded today. Very few. 65,000 here today. Yeah, very marginal for me on the overall volume. But what a beautiful chart. Absolutely beautiful chart. All right, so Larry's thinking about, let's see, what is it? BLDP, Ballard Power. There we go. You're thinking about entering at, what was it? 19 and a quarter. Okay, that makes sense. So let's do this. For those of you that are afraid or concerned about the 200 period moving average, that's real simple. Just take it off the chart. There you go. There you go. So I have to say, you're looking at the breakout. I totally agree with that logic. I'm going to actually remove that line right there. I totally agree. And, above that, you're breaking out of all this over here. Yeah, absolutely agree. Thank you. Now, and see what I really like about this is you've taken a stand. You've made a plan, and this is your plan. I think that is very important in trading. And nice chart, well planned. Make sure you have your stop in there. So 2 thumbs up. Nice. Rickster, you're out of some coin for 23%. Way to go. Way to go. Beautiful. Nice trade. Congratulations. Bob Hope. Earnings are tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Telemom. Would you trade December or January? Got to give me a ticker symbol, Mom. Telemon, if you would. Oh, okay. Okay, so the question is, would you trade options or the stock, right? Oh, wait a minute. Would you trade January or December? Well, let's go find out. Here, let's go take a look. Great question. All right, here, let's do this. I'm going to try to make this so you can see it. There we go. So let's type in Ballard Power here. And December or January. So let's look at December. Two things I'm going to look for is open interest and then somewhere around a 70 delta. And I have to be honest with you nowadays, not that I wasn't honest in the past. I used to just trade around that 70, but I've gotten to where I kind of focus a lot on open interest. And, I want to buy in the money. That's for sure. That I do want to do. But I want to focus on that open interest. So as I look at this chart in December, there's just not enough there for me. December's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. Let's look at January. man, that is much, much better. So here's 24.85 on the open interest, and there's a 70 delta. So I've got to look at this and think, man, this is pretty good here. So I think I would have to choose the January 17 strike myself. Does that help a little bit? This is something that is kind of one and done. And what I mean by that is there shouldn't be a lot of time focused on this. And there just shouldn't, a lot of people, and I used to be horribly guilty of this. In fact, it was just, what is it now, 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that. I've never traded an option until about 3.5 years ago, something like that. Because I would look at an option trade and it would freak me out. All these numbers, and this is nothing compared to what some other programs have. And I was like, how do you figure all this stuff out? There's too much. So let's talk one and done. One, I simply buy puts and calls, directional puts and calls, meaning I'm betting the stock is going up or I'm betting the stock is going down, just like you would buy a stock. And the second thing I'm going to look for is a combination, really, of open interest and delta. I have gotten to where lately I put a little more focus on the open interest. So I want to see good open interest. Let me explain that for a minute. I like around 70 delta. That's no secret. I think that's a good place to be. But what if, let's say, this one's not really set up that well. Let's forget about this blue line here, in the money, out of the money. Let's forget about in the money or out of the money, okay? So what if delta here, I'm not going to buy a 49 delta, I can tell you that right now. But what if this was a 65 delta? Now, I think that would be relatively good. And what if this open interest, there wasn't, this 2400, what if it was down here? And the 70, right now 71, was 254. Well, I would have no problem buying the 65 delta. I would have no problem at all. It means, basically it moves up $1, I'm going to make 65 cents. Now, I'm not one to be walking down the street and see a $20 bill and not pick it up. I'm not one of these guys. You damn straight I'm going to pick it up. So I'm not going to give up a 65-cent trade, for if it moves up $1 because it's not 70. All right. So this is one and done. Make a decision. It's really simple. And then this is a walk in the park. Once you make that decision, what you're going to do, good open interest, and then you have some delta parameters. So I hope that was helpful. Great question. I get asked a lot about this, and it's overcomplicated, I think. Overcomplicated. So let's see, DC. Why is 70 delta called the sweet spot? I use 80. I use 80 a lot, DC. It's, you're buying in the money, and and when you say, let's go back to your sweet spot. I don't think the sweet spot is 70. I think the sweet spot is, say, somewhere between 65 and 75. That's my sweet spot. And believe me, you put a little cherry on there at 80, and if the chart looks good, I'm all about it. I think that would work, okay? So it's not that 70 is the absolute sweet spot. Not at all. Let's see here. Where are we? Let's go back to this. Let's look at some flags. Any questions anybody wants to ask, let's do that. But definitely let's look at some flags here. KNX, what's this doing? Here's KNX. Here we're up, we're pulling back. Going to need to see a buy candle in here. Let me share something with you too. I have this set on a 15-minute alert. I do this when I do show and tell, so we get plenty of stocks through here. But the truth is, I always set mine to the daily because I'm not the guy to get trick entries. I'm the guy that gets, buys probably late to a lot of people, and early to some folks, I suppose. But I want this to be a solid candle right here. I don't want it to be, just a doji. I want to see something with some proof. Let's go see if we can find one, what I mean. Nah, we're not going to do that. TDOC, that might be one right there. Nope, that's still not one. Doggone it. Sophie. There we go. Now Sophie, I might buy that right in here because this is a 3/8 trap as well. This would be wins earnings on the 10th. I hate earnings. So we've got a breakout here, nice flag pullback. That's a nice chart. That one I might consider, but it would have to close above the T line, and I'm looking at 2.5% risk max on this. So. See, right now, because the market, overall market, is not moving up and it's kind of teetering right here, we're not going to see a lot of new day highs. It just doesn't, that's why I follow the market so much, is if the market's moving down, why buy here? Wait till things start turning, and then we want to buy. Let's see, DRI, thanks, 3/8 trap. Let's see, I'm going to have to prove this to myself. Yeah, this is not a 3/8 trap here. This is not a 3/8 trap scan. Any thoughts? Yeah, Dick, if this is showing up on your 3/8 trap scan, we might want to look at it because that's not a 3/8 trap. Not at all. So that aside, I would probably come in here and I'm going to look at that candle, I think, is what I'm going to look at because there's some good touches there. Anything above 151.80, I'm going to have to be bullish on this. Oh, DRE. Okay. Sorry if I typed that wrong. There you go. That's a 3/8 trap. So, great question here. And I want to remind everybody that a 3/8 trap is one of my favorite chart setups. But just because it's in a 3/8 trap does not necessarily mean it's a good chart to buy. So, as I look at this, yep, it's a 3/8 trap. But as I look at this chart, I can't help seeing that top right there. Those two wicks up there, sticking up there. So, while I love the chart, I like everything about the chart, except for that. So, nice run up, great. Nice, pullback and then consolidation, terrific. This would have to be a candidate for me on a 3/8 trap breakout. 3/8 trap breakout is when it's been in the 3/8 trap the past 3 days, any one of the last 3 days, and it breaks out of that the top trap line, the 3 EMA. So that's where this would be a candidate for me. I would just be kind of nervous of that right there. That right there. Let me show you what I mean here, and we'll see what these look like. Take a look at snow. Snow's been in the trap for the last 3 days, or one of the last 3 days, and see how it's breaking out, and Friday would have actually shown that as well. See how it's breaking out of that top line. That's what I would want to see on that DRI. Let's see if we can find another one. SLV, here's one in the trap and trying to break out here. TSM. See, they're breaking out of the 3/8 trap right now. So, all right, what do we have? Let's see here. AMD. AMD, yeah, I think them and what is it? Meta now, Facebook. They're kind of working together. I think AMD's making chips for Meta. I guess, is that what it is now? Meta, Facebook. And that got them kicked off there. Real nice today. Mara, Riot, they're up terrific. Yeah, up fantastic. So Jay, I gotta know, just posting that Mara's up 18%. Thanks for that information, but tell me about it. Are you in them? What are you doing? Fuel cell up 16. Okay, but how's that helping us? What are you doing with it? That's what we need to know. Are you in those? Because you need to take a bow if you are. Outside of that, it's just charts that's popping up. Sorry, but it just is. Telemon, do you think you is too far up? You realize it doesn't matter what I particularly think, because my trading might be totally different than yours. So I see a breakout, and I'm going to put my line right there. So now what I'm going to do, something like this. We're going to take the top of that candle, and this would have to be my stop right now. So you have to ask yourself, if you was to buy it right now, can you afford a 5.3% risk? If you can, then that's a great buy. But you are opening the door. You are opening that door for a slight pullback. It just happens. Excuse me. On the other hand, it could also close here and then just shoot up more tomorrow or the next day. Welcome to trading. So, if you find that 5.3% is not something you want to risk, then yes, just wait for a pullback. That's all you got to do. We're assuming, and I'm assuming that you're assuming that it's going to go higher, okay? So all we're trying to do is negotiate an entry in here. Man, excuse me, apologize. Another way to maybe look at this is, let's go peek at a 3-bar chart. Here's a 3-bar chart. I'm not sure that's going to help us out a ton. Well, maybe a little bit. So here's our first bar up today. This is our second bar, if you can see it here, a little doji here. A lot of times what I'll do is come up and use halfway of that candle, or I also see these highs in here. So let's try that for a stop. So what we're doing is we're saying that today's candle has to stay proven, and we're willing to let it come back almost. In fact, you could go to the body if you wanted, that'd be fine. So now that we've put that line in there, let's go back to the daily and let's move our risk up. Now we're only risking 3.25% maybe. Okay? If you're buying it now. Does that make sense? And this is kind of important, and don't worry about this line. I'm not putting it up in any special spot. I'm just putting it up there, okay? So there's 92 people in the room here. 92 people could look at this chart, and we could all possibly agree on where it's going, okay? We agree it's going up. Here's where we disagree. We disagree on where the entry is. 92 people can totally disagree, each and every one of us. But we're all going to be looking in about this area right there. We will all be negotiating a price in this area, that pink area. Some traders will just be bound and determined to wait for it to pull back here. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all. Some traders would be perfectly happy with a pullback in there. And some traders will absolutely, I'm not buying it until it starts to break out. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to decide what kind of trader you are. And then Ed, our text there, points out all this talk about this, and this thing just turned to mud. Has earnings on the 9th. Thank you. Which means this chart just turned to crud. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Oh, Tim put it in there too. So, yeah. Tell them on. Yeah. Here's my rule on earnings, okay? And since we're talking about this. If you're a new trader or you have a small account, you need to run as far from earnings as possible. You need to avoid earnings like the plague. If you're a seasoned trader and you're somewhat successful and you have a larger account, and by the way, you make the definition on what's a larger or smaller account, okay? Everyone, I don't have a definition for that number. But if you're a seasoned trader and you have, whatever you call a good size account, then you can trade to your little heart's content. Earnings equals high risk. Oh yeah, scary risk, scary risk. Here's a problem. First of all, if you're a new trader, you don't have the foggiest clue. Okay, so I'm just saying now, if the stove is hot, but you go touch it once, you'll learn. If you have a small account and you don't have proper money management and you put too much money into this thing, and let's say it gaps down on earnings, you're screwed. You're cooked. That goose is in the pot. You're going to be in trouble. Like I said, stay away from earnings. Bad juju in earnings. Bad juju. Anyway, all right. Jay took a starter position on Friday. Way to go, Jay. Nice. Pull back the EMA. Wanted to add more. It really probably didn't give you a big chance on that, did it? Yeah. Beautiful. Very nice trade. Very nice trade. Hey, let's take a look at some of these, see if we're getting anywhere. Sears is kind of new on the flag front. Here's Sears. See that flag right there? Nice white candle. I like that. Here we have a nice little breakout. Based on the information we have at this moment, I would have to use about that 770 as a stop. May consider a trade actually on follow through above the 3/8 trap. So you get a 3/8 trap breakout here. Here's a chart that I pay attention to an awful lot, FNGU. I watch that an awful lot. I think that's one of the most important charts in the market to watch. It is simply the FANG stocks, and I don't like that to get bearish. Here we've got a shooting star and a bearish engulf, so I have my concerns. I am part of this wall of worry. I'm one of these worry warts, and I think we're climbing the wall of worry. But I certainly want to respect these two candlesticks here. We are in a 3/8 trap. Remember, I had mentioned earlier, just because we're in a 3/8 trap, it does not necessarily mean this is a buy. If I started to see this move up through those two candles there, which really the top of the black candle, the body anyway, that would be an indication that the bulls are stepping back in. But right now, I don't have that warm and fuzzy feeling. I just don't. And there's too much risk of these two candles proving themselves. So a little more to the downside, possibly. So FNGU here. Okay. Any questions? Anything? We've got about 15 minutes left. If anyone wants to look at any charts or... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I said we would build an intraday one. Let's do that. I'm just going to duplicate this window to start with. And let's bring it over here so you can see it all. I'm going to make it stay on the top. I'm going to change the style real quick just so it's a little better, a little easier on the eyes to see. It doesn't take long to do it. Black. There we go. All right. So let's change this up just a little bit. And for fun, let's just let's do it to an hourly. Let's change it to an hourly. So I'm going to change the bull flag here. Whoops. Right here to an hour. There we go. And I'm going to rescan. The white candle, yeah, we'll change that. Doggone it. We'll change that to a hourly chart. You know what a person could do is just click this right here and it would change everything. But I'm not sure I want everything on an hourly chart. Like volume. I'm going to keep that on the daily. The rising, what is this? I think I'm going to keep this on the daily as well. And let's see what, wow, this is not going to be good. Rescan everything. So there's this one that shows up. We're going to go, we'll fix this. But let's just go see what this is. D-Dog. So there's D-Dog right here. Let me move this out of the way. And let's change this to the hourly. There's the hourly, and there's our little flag right there. Little flag in the hourly. Let's see if we can make a few more come on this thing. So let's change. All right, we'll change this to the hourly. We'll see what happens. Oh, hey, we have a couple more. All righty. I'm going to take the volume. What do I have that? That's pretty low. I'm not going to budge on that one. Yeah, white candle. I'm not going to budge there. All right, we're going to call that good. So I'm just going to save this. And we're going to click there and we can get a quick snapshot of these. So let's look at ABNB. Look at that hourly flag right there. Nice 3/8 trap as well. So nice pop, little hourly flag. We already looked at D-Dog. There's EAF. We got rally up, hourly flag, FLR. Ooh, these are all kind of nice, aren't they? Nice little hourly flag. TGI. There's another one. Man, that's really nice. So I'm going to do, because these are looking really good. Excellent. I think what I would like to do is I'm going to look at them all again, but I'm going to look at them on a daily chart now. ABNB. So here we're up and we've got our pullback. So if this can hold up toward the end of the day, daily chart, little high for me. So I don't see this as a buy, but it's showing us a nice little hourly flag there. Whoa. One just popped in. AGFY. Here's the daily chart. Look how we're up. And see that pullback right there? That's giving us our little hourly flag right in there. Nice. FLR. Here's the hourly chart. There's the daily chart pulling back into that hourly flag. So if you were trading this, let's go back to the daily, or I'm sorry, the hourly. Then we can set this up based on one, support and resistance. I would call that a breakout of resistance, pull back to support. It also happens to be a 3/8 trap, which a lot of the flags might be, because we're asking it to do the same thing, just pull back. So that a lot of them might be in that trap area there. So a simple way to trade this is put your stop in. It breaks your stop, you're out. If it pops up, you're just happy as a clam. Clams can be happy. All righty. Let's take a look at the VIX real quick as we're going along here. So here's the daily on the VIX. Here's where I have to be a little concerned today or tomorrow. Yeah, let's put this right here. So we have a nice little double bottom, and we also have a bullish W pattern starting to form. So let's make this a little bigger. There we go. There's part of the W there, and we're going to use this high, right to the penny. And then we're going to come back down. There's part of our W, and here's part of our W. Now, the W really, it's not really a W pattern until it actually breaks out of this 18 area. But if the VIX breaks out of this 18 area, that is a very bullish chart pattern here. So we need to be a little careful, cautious. Overall, I'm still bullish. Just be cautious. And let's look at the SPY real quick. And I'm going to go that 15-minute chart. See how we're holding the 50 period moving average here? If we break that, then I would suspect we come down to 460. We'll call it 467 right here. I think that's a likelihood. If we can't hold, if we can't hold in here, then I would say that's where we're coming. On the daily chart, well, it'd be about yesterday's low or Friday's low. Alrighty. Make sense? All good? Questions? Anything? Tim, do you use trailing stops? And if so, a percentage or dollar amount? I don't particularly use trailing stops. I don't particularly do that. I tend to be what I call a profit taker. Let's just take the SPY here, for instance. If I was to buy the SPY here, honestly, my goal is not to get the SPY up here. My goal is not to buy it, move a stop up. It pops up higher, I move a stop up. It pops up higher, I move a stop up. Pops up higher, I move a stop up. That's not my goal. That's just simply not my goal. I'm more of buy it, it moves up. Now I trade options, so if I can get in the 15% range or more, I'm generally taking profits. May not be all the profits. I may take part of the contract off. I may close the whole contract or all of it. Yeah. Now, but to your question, percentage or dollars and cents, honestly, I wouldn't use either one of those. I would use support myself. So, right, let's take right here, for instance. Here we gapped up, and if you bought it, then the support is the breakout. So that's where my support line would be. And as it moved up, then if it moved up here, I might go to this candle, or because of the gap, more than likely I would put it here, because if it came down through 447.13, this candle right here, well, this would be a dark cloud cover. So you have to anticipate, which is not trying to project or anything. It's just, if you know candlesticks and understand them, the only way for this can go from this high to below there is like that. That is not a candle you want in there. So I would have to put my stop right here. And it's the same thing going up. This doji right here, as it went up, that would be a terrific place to put my stop. And we're using support, not a percentage, not a dollars and cents, because the market doesn't know that. The market has no clue what percentage is or dollars and cents. The market, however, absolutely knows what support and resistance is. So Here we popped up a little bit. See how we pulled back? We're still above our support line. So you might still be in it. Well, you may not like what it's doing here. You definitely might not like it, but it's above your support line. And then we start moving up higher. Well, you'd simply go to that next pullback, and you're still in it. And from there, as it rises, you can just keep bringing that up to where you see support and resistance, or support rather. Thanks. Great question there, Tim. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Let's see. Here's a new one here. BLFS. That's pretty ugly, actually. Would need to see some a good green candle, and that's making a green candle thin, white candle real thin there. OMI. There we go. There we go. So see this, to your question, one of your questions there, Tim. See this candle right in here. So I'm not in this. So if I was going to buy this right now, my stop would be right there. In fact, here we're just a little bit off of a tweezer bottom. I can see that. But this is the low I'm going to use. So if we moved up, say like this, then I can't use this line now that I have this up here. But this is where I might come in and put, raise my stop up. And if we moved up again, that would be a good breakout. So I would probably use, make that red. I'd probably use a stop on that breakout there. Hey Mike, is there a scan of TC2000 to identify Trendicator color changes? Yes, there is. Let me see if I have that real quick handy. And actually, what I'm going to do, because we don't have time to make it, is I'm going to give you a link to a video. Here it is right here. It's not very long. It's quite short, actually. But it's absolutely how to make it. And there's the, whoops, that's not it. Huh. Well, maybe this, I don't know if this will work. No, that's not going to work. I'll have to find that, doggone it. Let me find it, and I will post it in here. I'll post it in here, Mike. If you hang around just a few minutes after I close up, I'll go get it and post it in here. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm just going to cover. Here's BTBT. I'm still green on that. Looking for that to break out. Chewy's still looking pretty good, even though the market is looking a little ragged at the moment, so I'm all happy with that. SKLZ, this is one that I'm considering buying at the close. Thanks, Dave, appreciate it. I'm considering buying this at the close, and what I'm going to be looking for is it's going to have to close over the T line. So I'm waiting to the end of the day, and at the end of the day, if we're still up here like this, there's an excellent chance I buy SKLS. And since you mentioned it, here's another one I wrote down, but it's up so much now, I'm not going to do it. But I wrote this one down for a possible buy at the end of the day, Tilray. But it's moved up way too much, so no way am I going to buy this at the end of the day. However, I will most definitely be looking for an entry in the next couple of days, and I would love to see an inside day. Another one I wrote down, which I got to tell you, I'm thinking about doing it. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. This has earnings tomorrow, and I am thinking about buying NIO and holding it over earnings. Might be the might be the dumbest thing I do today. That might be the dumbest thing I do today. But I am considering it, just considering it. Telraise, no pun intended. Yeah. Oh, PA, thank you very much. Mike, that link right there, PA just put it out. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think that link, it goes to how you build it in TC2000. There is no single one. Well, I guess the code is in there. You just have to follow the directions, the instructions to get there. It's a couple of little processes. Alrighty, ladies and gents, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Ooh, you guys see SLV coming up on my hot list here? SLV, nice 3/8 trap. I'm sorry, rounded bottom breakout coming up. Very nice, very nice. Fuel cell coming up. Look at fuel cell, nice little breakout. I still think fuel cell gets to 1241, which, you know, there's no secret there. It's just this top, and then we'll evaluate from there. Okay. BB, yeah, BB. That popped up a little bit earlier today that I saw. BB might be setting up to run up higher here now. Yeah, excellent. All right, ladies and gents, I'm gonna sneak out of here. Okay, we'll see everybody later. Take care, and hope to see you in the trading room. Thank you, Ed, for having me here. I appreciate it. Later, everyone.